Right then.
Right then, you mooks.
Just a little clue of maybe the cruise line that we may be going on the next adventure with, but we'll go into more details of our next adventure coming up this weekend. So,
this. Can I just say, howdy all?
So many people in the comments already. So, love to see Kevin here, who's one of our patrons who always looks after the chat here with telling everyone to put a question first. We had a guy get a bit angsty the other week, saying, I'm not having people tell me what to do. It's like, Kevin's only trying to be helpful. If you do put a question before we see it, because so many comments come through that we want to make sure that we answer as many as possible. So, you're right there, Annie?
Yes, thank you. You carry on.
So,
I'm cleaning here.
So, and Barbara's here. So it's lovely to see Barbara. So she set a clock to get up here early. So you must be really early from across the world. And we've got our first question here by the looks from Joan. Hello there, Joan. Hiya both. Please, do you know how long the trip is to Rome to do your own sightseeing with TUI? No, we've never done it, but I'm sure it's a full day, isn't it?
Hey, we love it when we get asked a question. Carole keeps trying to duff me out of the picture here. So there we are, right back in the picture. The honest answer is, John, we don't know.
Well, it's always on the programme when I've seen it, or on the excursions programme, it's a full day. So make sure that you allow for that. It looks like the next thing you said is you've got the Colosseum booked for 2 p.m, so I hope you have enough time. That we can't tell you. So if it's a self-guided tour, you'll get a pickup point, a drop-off point in Rome, and a pickup point again. So just make sure you speak to TUI. You must have booked the excursion though, so I guess it doesn't tell you the exact times, but I know they normally go very early in the morning and sometimes don't come back till about 7, isn't it? And the ship doesn't tend to leave till a bit later than that, so hopefully you'll be absolutely fine. And Stephen's here. So hello you two. Question, what is the date of Paul's birthday, just so we can pester him with good wishes and probably really annoy him?
It's you have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a sore throaty, chesty, eary achy thing. So
yeah,
if I don't sound my normal self, please do feel sorry for me. My birthday is the same day. Right, this is one for then. This is the first question of the night. My birthday is the same day as Jim Reeves, the famous country and western singer. Let's see who gets that right first.
Oh,
no Googling Google, Claire.
Yeah. So
there's no way anybody will get that.
Well, we'll see. Maybe let's jump to the bottom and see if anyone's got it already. Gosh, there's so many people here. No, but there is things about Rome. Our Rome excursion was 8 hours, so thanks, Christine. And Andy Views here. Hey, Andy. We're catching up with Andy soon on our next adventure, so we can't say too much yet. But Rome is easy and cheapest by train. We were there 5 weeks ago. Yeah, some people aren't brave enough to do it on their own and do the excursions, but yes, it can be done from... Kevin's there. So there's your answer. That's Paulie Morgan's birthday. So it's the one before the big one, isn't it? So
yeah, 39.
39. So let's go back up to where we were, just to
Kevin got it right, because I told him when my birthday was the last time I spoke to him.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
And Barbara's, good morning from Melbourne. So lovely to have you here from Melbourne. I'm just about to work on a vlog all about Melbourne, because I pushed it by just to get all our Marella content done. So I wanted to get that out just before we do our Canada and Alaska stuff, because I think it's really a really useful video for those planning to go to Melbourne. So yeah, and Andy Views is good day from Coral Princess. They're on the World Cruise and they're on day 64, and we were chatting via email earlier, and they said that they were worried that they might be a bit bored on the World Cruise, but they're definitely not. They're definitely living their best life, and I think they're currently in Newfoundland, if I'm right. So that might give you a clue of where we're going.
So they've been on a cruise for 64 days. They've got 43 days to go. I don't even want to speak to him. Let's get him off the screen.
No, we're looking forward to catching up with you guys. And Patrick and Francis is here, so it was lovely to see you. And Corinne, I always say her, I got told off. Corinne's one of our patrons. She keeps telling me off I pronounce her name wrong. Corinne. I think it's Corinne. Am I right, Corinne?
Corinne.
And yes, so Corinne's been in sunny Calgary, flying home tomorrow night. So I hope you're not flying Air Canada. So let's see. Now, Mandy's here. So lovely to see you, Mandy. Have you been on a Nile cruise? We're now hooked on cruising thanks to your vlogs, but we also have loved Egypt for many years. And what if combine the two is a good idea? Now, for us, we had a holiday in Egypt going back quite a few years ago, and it was like going on to a holiday with 40 Towers. For those that remember 40 Towers, everything that could possibly go wrong, you close the door, the number would fall off. It was that sort of holiday, wouldn't it?
It was awful.
It was terrible. But we've heard lots of people had a good time in Egypt. Now, the best person to check out with is Gary Bembridge, Tip for Travellers, because he's not long done a... You keep sneaking it round.
Do you know
I'm going to be off the screen in a minute.
You're not off the screen. You're perfectly in the middle.
So my feathers are going off. But he's done an Nile River cruise. So check out Gary's content, Tips for Travellers. That'll be really helpful for you. So... Andy and Carla here, so lovely to see you from a sunny Lancashire. Ooh, wow, we haven't had much sun down here. It's been absolutely soaking.
I went racing on the weekend. Anybody who may have seen any of my Instagram posts, and it was like swamp fever.
It was such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah,
such a shame.
When is my birthday?
Soon.
Yeah, what day's on?
I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute.
12th. Oh, a Sunday it'll be on, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Greg and Catherine, new patrons. So lovely to see you here too from sunny Spain.
Spain, everywhere sunny apart from Gloucester.
Kevin's brought up a point, so thank you, Kevin. We've been shortlisted for the Wave Awards. I will show you I've got a banner. Oh, this is exciting.
Ooh.
So if I can find it, there it is. So it's just there it is. You go the other way, Paulie. There it is.
I can't work my fingers. No, where do I have to put it? Oh no, I got it from the other way. Look.
So yes, so we've been shortlisted for the Wave Awards. So check out the link that Kevin's just put in, and do give us a vote if you like what we do, because every vote counts. So that'll be interesting to see how we get on with that. We're up against some really huge, some of the best bloggers in the business. So we're small fry compared to them, but we've got this far, so we need to celebrate that. So
everybody loves an underdog.
Yes, let's get this. So Jack's here. So good evening, Paul and Carole. Hope you're both well set for your holidays. We are. And Tony Ramone's back from the Baltic. Had better weather there. Yeah, I know. It's been so wet and horrible. And Rose is here. Rose is one of our new members, YouTube members. So lovely to see you here, Rose. And Jake says, hope you've been having a lion after being up first. Yes, on our latest vlog, Paul was very excited because he got out of bed for the first time before me, and that very rarely happens. So
it happens all the time, but what we do is we make a joke of it in our videos. I like being in bed, but I'm always up first.
If you go and say that, if you haven't watched our latest video, this one's currently out on our channel now. So go ahead and check that one out. And this Friday, we've got our last one going out, which is the verdict of the Marella cruises. So if you're interested in finding out what Marella cruises have to offer, then please do check our videos out. So I've jumped there a bit, haven't I? So it's sunny in Norfolk as well. So why are we why is it pouring rain here?
It just seems like tonight that people haven't come on here to ask us questions. They've just come on here to poke fun at us about the rubbish weather.
So Hox Travels is here. So love to see Jim and Dwayne and Camilla and so many people. So Ken is still 59 too.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm not 59 yet, though. I'm 58.
Yes, you are. And Kevin's here. Kevin B, that's another person we're catching up with very soon. We're so excited to catch up with some of our patrons and members as we go. One of the perks of joining our Patreon and membership, we've got a banner about that. It's all about banners today. So just check that out. If you're interested in a bit of sort of behind-the-scenes content, early access to our videos, members-only lives, etc., as you can see here.
I'll tell you something, we don't scrub up too bad on
no,
there,
we don't, do we?
Oh, just leave that on there, mate. Don't let them see it. Just leave that for the next hour.
So there we are.
And hot off the press.
Is it?
Well, not really. Somebody said about, and I apologise because I can't remember who it was, that if you're watching on the TV, you can still give us a thumbs up.
You keep saying that.
I know, but I've actually done it now. I've actually achieved this. So if idiot like me can do it, surely you lovely people can do it as well. There's 205 people currently watching. I've taken all your names, and if we don't get 205 thumbs up by the end of it, I should be coming around and asking you why.
So I guess, so can you guess where we're going and what we're doing? We've talked about it, so I'm sure that on our bits and bobs, haven't we? We've been given a few clues for a while. Our Patreon and YouTube members have known for ages. So do you want to say what's happening, Paulie? New York City, yeah, baby. So we're flying out to New York City. We're spending 7 days in New York City exploring, catching up with some lovely people we mentioned, and also one of my old colleagues from when I worked on Celebrity Cruises as a nurse. So Pam's coming to meet us, and I haven't seen her since 1990. So I'm so excited about that. And then we are getting on a cruise ship in Manhattan, and we are cruising back to the UK. So our first transatlantic, and as you can see from this regalia that we've got on, the ship is
the MSC Opera.
No, it's not. It's the Queen Mary 2. So we're back with Cunard, a cruise company that we love. We know what nights that we're going to have, because when you book a cruise with Cunard, it took me a while to assess this out. When you go to your account to check if you want to book excursions, etc., you go to your calendar, and on your calendar it will tell you the dress code for every night. Now, Cunard, people think that Cunard is just crazy posh all the time. It's not. It can be if you want that, but you can go very casual too. But what they do have is they have 2 gala nights, and they have one obviously beginning of the cruise and one towards the end, like a lot of cruise ships have formal nights. Now their gala nights have different themes. So we now know that we're going to have our first gala night is red and gold night. So anything, obviously that's self-explanatory, anything red and gold. I tend to wear like a burgundy type dress, and you've got a bow tie for that, haven't you?
That's all I'm wearing.
Just a bow tie.
Just a bow tie. And then when we say you can wear anything, that's it. Just a bow tie. Yeah.
And the second one is the 20s night. So this is why I've got the flapper gear, and Paul's got his new gangster hat on. So we've gone all out. We spent $6.99 and $7.99. I've got my fag holder.
My fag holder.
Can you see that?
Showing your class now.
I've got some long black gloves. Yeah. And I've got a pearl necklace.
I could make a pearl necklace joke, but I won't.
No. So if you want to know about dress codes in Cunard, we've got a very comprehensive post on our website that I've also got something I can put across the bottom, I think. Where did I put that? Yeah. So which tells you what to expect on a Cunard cruise and what to wear for their gala night. So they sometimes have a black and white night. They have a masquerade ball. They have obviously the red and gold night, and they have the flappers night, as we call it. And on the post that you'll see there, you'll see all links to Amazon so that you can buy cheap. You don't have to spend a fortune, but buy something cheap like this. And then you can join us if you want to. But if you don't want to, it's not a problem. You won't be,
no. But like I said, we've literally invested
£15.
£15 on what they do on the masquerade ball nights is they will have masks for sale.
Yes.
So anything from a simple little, which you owed like that, which could be like £3 or £4, up to you can get some quite swanky ones for about $20. But I mean,
well, it was $15, wasn't it? The ones we got.
But but that's up to you. You don't have to do it.
No.
You won't be chastised or made to go to bed early if you don't.
So we're really excited about being back on Cunard, because this will be our 5th or 6th Cunard cruise, won't it? 3rd time on Queen Mary 2.
Yeah.
So and we're looking forward to actually cruising out of New York. So that'll be pretty awesome.
A couple of things to look at, as you say.
Apparently there is. So there we are. So let's go back to the questions. And the reason I brought that up is because I've seen that Chris Moran's here. So he said, I'm back on my first cruise this Friday when I board. Oh, excuse me. When I board the QM2 for a transatlantic crossing to New York. I think you're going to be on the return trip, if I'm correct. We are. Oh, wow. You Karen talking, Polly.
So, Chris, all I'm saying to you is, don't be drinking all the Thatchers Go, because we're going to fall out.
Yeah.
Keep some for me.
We don't book a drinks package when we book Cunard because we think it's very expensive. Even though the drinks are expensive on Cunard, you do have to allow that in your budget. We just pay as we go, and we found.
Where's this question come from?
No, I'm just talking about Cunard.
Oh, sorry.
So it's those people that are worried about drinks prices. We've got also a post all about that too. Oh God, where's that tickle come from? Oh, all right. You're passing on your sore throat to me.
Yes.
So let's see then. So Mark's saying, we're thinking of a Marella Mediterranean cruise, but I'll put off by the distance and cost involved in visiting Pisa, Cannes. Are there any options as in the Caribbean, or is it TUI? TUI have some great itineraries in the Caribbean also, and all around the coast of, not all around the coast, but the east coast of the US. So, yeah, doing excursions and stuff when you visit the Med can be expensive. But you can do a lot on your own, can't you, in the Med? It's pretty simple. But Pisa and Florence, we would recommend that because Paul will tell the story of when we went on.
We were on Celebrity Beyond.
That's right.
We did Florence and Pisa. When we come back from Pisa, there was a hoo-ha. There was a road hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And we were stuck in traffic, and we got back to the ship almost 2 hours after the ship was due to sail.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a ship excursion. It was quite good, but it was a ship excursion.
Yeah.
They wait for you. If you're doing that independently, it's adios muchacho, we'll see you at the next port. So always bear that in mind. Always leave yourself plenty of time. I'm not saying you shouldn't do your own things. We've done our own thing in places, but always bear it in mind. I would never even, if we were in port for 9 hours, I wouldn't even entertain doing an excursion that was 8 hours.
No, I would do one 3 or 4 hours in the morning to make sure you're back.
But it's all down to personal choice. But, you know, advice is like bottoms. Everybody's got one, you know, to give you. Well, it's like, you know, opinions and all that. But my humble opinion is I wouldn't be risking doing something of that length on your own, even though you will undoubtedly save money.
But there are shorter excursions to be had, Mark, so I would definitely have a look at those. And a lot of the ports, like we just done, we had a fantastic time, didn't we, in St. Raphael? And actually just wandering around St. Raphael would have been lovely, and we want to go back there to do that, don't we? So Nicola's saying, happy birthday, Paul. Milk before he can and get well soon. Yeah, we both got tickly throat, so sorry for sucking on some cough sweets here, but we want to not have a coughing fit. So Andy and Christina here from the Cotswolds, lovely part of the world. And Anne saying, oh, I love you, see Anne. My dad loved Jim Reeves, always sang Anna Maria to me. Do you know that song in here?
I don't. I probably would if I heard it. My dad has in the past and still does on occasion sing a lot of Jim Reeves songs. I think one of his favourites is probably Distant Drums.
That's right.
So, yeah, he does a lot of Jim Reeves stuff. And even my dad, who does a lot of Jim Reeves stuff, if I said to him, when's Jim Reeves' birthday, he wouldn't have a clue.
No. Barbara's asked, we use Cruise Critic to get information. We don't tend to, but we know a lot of people that do. So Morris is saying, hi guys, are you auditioning for Chicago? Yes. No. Oh, are you going to sing a song from that?
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Kevin said he told you the Magpie and Stump. Yes.
I knew I told him.
The Magpie and Stump is a pub in Banff. Oh, we had such fun there.
And there wasn't a magpie or a stump in there. So
no, there wasn't.
It was called that. There was a lot of hats that fell on you, ironically. You got hit by a flying hat on the way, didn't you? Which was hilarious.
We did. Yeah, very good. Carl said we got the train out from, I think it was €8 return, left there at 5, got back on the ship at 6:30, sailed at 8. Great day and so cheap to travel. Yeah, if you're willing to go for it, then yeah, it can be done. And Heather's, good morning from Perth. So lovely to see you. Thanks so much, guys, for getting up stupidly early to join us. It really does. We really do appreciate it. Hey, Jerry and Jill are in the house. Good day, PNC. We're just in the Juno vlog today and thinking of our time with you. We wish you some of that well footage you shot that day.
I got some for sale if you're interested.
No, we had such a fun time. With the Cruising Canucks. So, yeah, I can't wait to... You know, I'm really excited about editing the vlog, so I'm reliving that experience because it was just magical, wasn't it?
It was fun.
And we had such good fun. So we look forward to cruising with you guys again one day soon. So thanks for joining us here. That's brilliant. Alfie's here. So good evening all.
Good evening, Alfie. Sorry for stealing one of your players.
Who have you bought?
Well, we didn't have to buy him. We got it for nothing. A guy called Manor Solomon, I believe his name is.
Oh. Philip saying, do you have to go through customs and immigration at every port on a cruise? No, you don't. It depends on where you are going. We've had to do that. Where did we have to do that? Twice.
I don't know.
Can't remember. It's rare. Once you get on a cruise, you should be cleared for the countries that you're visiting. That's all organised by the ship.
But usually, if you're either the day before or the morning of, they'll tell you what documentation you need to take off for you. Some tell you to take photo ID. Some, obviously, you've got to take your ship card because that's how you scan it on the way off. And then when you get back on, so they know who's on, who's off. But it's very, very, very rare that you get asked to be shown any paperwork. But what we do is we've got photocopies of our passport, and it's always worth taking a photo of it as well. Take a photo if you don't want to risk taking your passport. Take a photo of it.
Some ports they will advise you to take your passport. We had to do that, didn't we?
Yeah. But don't do what Carole's sister did when we said, Jane, can you send us a picture of your passport? She sent us a picture, and all we could see on there was her picture. None of the details at all. So
I love my sister, but she does do some bizarre things.
Evening, Jane, if you're watching.
She's coming to New York with us, so it's an extension of her 60th birthday too. So that's brilliant. Where the three of us are very, very excited. So Vic's here from Tropical Stonehouse. It's boiling here. I don't think it could be. It's warm, the heat, isn't it? But you must be as wet as us, I'm sure. And Corinne's saying it's Corinne to rhyme with Colin. So Corinne.
That's what he said.
Corinne. Yes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she's on WestJet, which is the other airline from Canada. So that's good. Tina's asking any news of the merchandise. No, we're having a conversation with the lady that's sorting it out. She's just waiting on a few final bits to put in the big package. So hopefully when we get back from New York, we should have those. So that'll be great. Andy and Kirsty saying that they normally have a drink or a few watching the live, but better not on a Tuesday. We're back to next week. I've got another banner for this. We are going to be live from New York City. So we're hopefully we're in a hotel, so the Wi-Fi should be good. So we're back to our Thursday night. So that should be good because we've had to move it around because of obviously flights and Paul being away racing. But next week we're back to our regular Thursday. When we're on Cunard, we've got some credit towards our Wi-Fi package because we're gold status, so we've got so much. But our memory of Cunard Wi-Fi was that it's not good at all.
We'd be better off if we take some milk bottles with us, drop a few notes in there, and just throw them off the side of the ship. They'll probably get to you before anything on Cunard Wi-Fi will. So,
yeah. So we'll see.
And talking to Andy and Kirsty having a drink, I would recommend that anybody watching this has a drink because we'll probably sound and look a bit better.
So Moomin's here. Hi there. Any big plans for New York City? We've got lots planned. We want to do all the touristy things. Paul's never been, and I haven't been since 1992 was the last time I was there. So we want to do all the touristy things. We definitely want to go and see the 9/11 museum and pay our respects there. We definitely want to do the Staten Island Ferry. We definitely want to do Central Park. We definitely might go up the 360. Well, Paul might go up the 360. You want to do the Empire State, don't you?
I think I know it. Sorry, I was just straightening my shirt up to show you. I know it sounds daft. There's two sort of schools of thought. You don't do anything touristy, or you do everything touristy. Now, to not go there and not try and see stuff like that, I think the key is just knowing when to go and see stuff like that. But we just sort of play it by ear. But obviously, we want to go to the 9/11 Memorial. We want to try and do Empire State. We want to try and do Statue of Liberty. We want to do the ferry across the Mersey, but I think it's called something else, isn't it?
We want to do the High Line, which we're doing with our friend Pam.
I don't even know what that is, but
disused railway line.
And obviously, we want to go to Central Park.
Yeah, so I think this trip will be all about the touristy things. I'm sure that once Paul gets a taste of New York, then I'm sure this will not be our last time there, because and I just have such fond memories of it. It's mad, it's crazy, but it's just one of those cities that's is just, you know, fabulous to visit.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, all right?
Morris is saying, Mary, that the Dunn Renal River cruise is an experience of a lifetime. So yeah, Catherine's made the live, so nice to see you. So Nick Palmer, say hi, Nick. Question going on Anthem of the Seas on 3rd September. What's the best bar and the best food? Happy birthday, Paul, from Nick and Janet from sunny Pershore. Anthem of the Seas. Now, the 270 cafe in the daytime is fabulous. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
And I also thoroughly enjoyed Izumi.
Yes, Japanese restaurant.
Japanese restaurant. There was 2 reasons why I thoroughly enjoyed it. One was the food was fantastic.
Yeah.
2 was you have to pay per item you have. And because it was Carol's birthday, we just went proper like tonto and ordered like virtually everything. And they didn't charge us for anything. And then they bought a birthday cake out and sung me happy birthday. They did. She was not happy.
No, Kevin's off because work is calling. So yes, see you soon.
See you soon.
So that's lovely. So Corinne said that she's been at the Empire State Building in 1973.
Where's she been at?
Empire State. What did I say?
I don't know, maybe it wasn't that.
Am I the oldest on here? So 1973.
Yeah, but Corinne, you could have been 2 when you went up in 1973.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rachel's asking, would you set up and live on different cruise ships like Fraser at Sea is doing? No. Fraser's doing, he's traveling, fair play to him, a lovely guy. If you're not following, then make sure you do. He's sort of cruise ship hopping, and he's done some already. He's back in the States now. So, no, do you know, we love travel, we love going on cruises, but we love being at home too, and we love catching up. Have you seen the weekend? We love doing things with friends and family. I had a fabulous weekend catching up with my sister and my best friend from school, and then some girls that I used to work with in cardiology, and I'm back out with them all on Wednesday night, because if you watched our Azamara vlogs, you'll have seen in Adelaide that I caught up with an old colleague of nurse of mine called Andy. He's over the UK, so we're all catching up with him. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. You love your racing, don't you? And catching up, obviously. We love catching up with our families. So that's that was not going to happen, is it?
If you go to Candyman, because that's one of the...
My New York tip is Ellen Stardust Diner, an amazing experience for waiting stuff. Do you know, I've already got as you all know, I got my notebook, and that's already in there. I've got all these tips that people have been giving us. So we've got loads and loads of tips. So loads of tips going on.
But we appreciate it. And
yeah, so we've got Ellen Stardust on there. We had a few tips about those sort of things. We've got, is it the Mark's Crisis Cafe? Is that, I can't read my own writing.
Honestly, I've written it in my book. She might as well just write it on some toilet paper, set fire to it, and throw it down the bog.
Oh, Don't Tell Mama, Ellen Stardust Diner, Keen Steakhouse, and Beauty and Essex is supposed to be quite a sort of.
What's that one there, though? You don't know.
I'll have to check. Ben's friend of our Ben sent it through. So thanks, Ben, if you're watching for all that, and I'll make sure I write down and reread your message.
Send it to me next time, Ben.
So let's go back up where we were. So I'm flicking about here. Paul gets really annoyed when I do this, don't you?
He does. Yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore.
So we digress from Nick. I hope we answered your question about Anthem. The other place that we went to was Wonderland, which was very interesting and very quirky. If you've got a special, it's very theatrical. So yeah, but we had fab food on Anthem, didn't we?
Obviously
really good food.
Alice in Wonderland based. Lots of different courses. It's really... Your night is really dependent on how good your waiter is, and I know that sounds daft, but I mean, because it's like almost like a theatrical experience. If you've got somebody that's really into it, it's going to make it better. But all the food is not what it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I won't say any more on that because I don't want to spoil it. But you'll get stuff come out, and you'll think, "Oh, what's that?" And it won't be what you think it is.
Natalie's here. Oh, niece Natalie. So lovely seeing that.
Yes, I spent the weekend with Natalie. She was a very bad influence on me.
As always. So, oh dear, I'm choking on my water. So Richard's asking, hello, I'm new to this. I really enjoy the live chat. Chat, may I ask you, are your questions paid for?
Are your cruises paid for?
What did I say?
Questions.
Oh,
yes, they
yes.
are paid for. They're paid for by us.
Yeah, on another couple they're paid for, but very unclear about it. So the rules are with bloggers, Richard, that if you obviously paying for your own cruises, which we do the majority, we have been invited on some cruises, is that if you're invited or by a cruise line and you're or gifted a cruise or invited on board, then the rules of the advertising agency is that you should put AD at the beginning of every post that you put on social media and add on any, stories and all that stuff.
And then when you put a YouTube video out, you're supposed to, there's an option that you can click on when you put your YouTube video up onto YouTube that says contains paid promotion.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying on another couple, they are paid for. We're very unclear about it. We probably know who that couple is. And yes, they're very unclear about it. So I can tell you now what we've, Sail Croatia, they paid for the cruise, but we paid for all the flights.
Yeah.
So the free cruise cost us about £2,500 because the flights and the accommodation were just bonkers at the time because of the time of year we went.
Yeah.
So yes, the cruise side of it was free, but it certainly wasn't free. And we did a river cruise with
Avalon. We were invited on board by Avalon.
And to be fair, they paid for everything. That they paid for flights, transfers, and the river cruise. And we didn't have to spend a penny.
But you'll have seen all the posts about that.
Yeah,
there was ad on social media.
Ad gifted.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Some people do, some people don't. But that's the rules.
And it seems to be a bit of a trait with American bloggers that they don't do it either.
No, and I don't know if the rules are different there. I don't think they are. However, that's us. We like to be transparent about when we are invited. In fact, we've had a very exciting Zoom call today, haven't we, about potential partnership with a company, and we've got potentially some things coming up in 2024. But you'll know exactly with us whether we pay for it or not, because if it's got AD in front of our posts, then you'll know then you'll know that it was actually gifted.
And obviously, before we go on something, because we do a live to say what we're doing next, if we're doing anything at all that we haven't paid for, when we do our lives before it, we would say, just to let you know, we're going on the so-and-so next week. We're chuffed to bits that it's free of charge. They've paid for it, hosted, gifted, whatever you want to call it. We would never, ever try and pull the wool over anybody's eyes.
No, exactly.
I know that's an English saying. If you, but it means we wouldn't try and hoodwink.
But with that being invited, it becomes, there's a lot of work to be done. But that's fine. Who's complete? That's you've worked hard to put out content, so that is a bonus when it happens. But it doesn't happen a lot to us. But it is happening a little bit more, isn't it? Which is great. Ken saying, I need my voter sticker. Yes, thank you so much. And Barbara's loving our 20s accessories, and Alan's having a cool.
No, go on to the next one.
Titter.
Yeah, it's the next
cool
one.
Titter.
He's corrected himself.
Cool Titfer.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Carole has got
I have no idea what you're talking
of what's going on. Alfie is quoting Cockney rhyming slang.
Oh.
A titfer is a hat because it's
tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
Oh. What's this called then?
Whereas Carole thought that Titfer was the player that Spurs has just signed for Fulham.
Yeah, I did. Oh.
God, dear.
So Amanda's here. Lovely. Amanda's just got off the Queen Victoria after having a fabulous cruise round the Baltic. So lovely to... They've got sun in Blackpool as well. That's not right, is it? Thank you. So, and Kevin saying, beautiful sunny day in New York. Yes, we're not taking a coat. We've decided we're not taking a coat because it looks really hot.
She'll take a coat.
No, I won't.
She'll take 5 coats, 4 jumpers.
No, I won't.
And I'll end up carrying them just put this in your backpack, honey. And I'll go out like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'll be out like a Ninja Turtle. My backpack will be so big. As long as she lets me eat pizza all the time, though, I don't mind.
Question right then. Do you get excited every time you book a new cruise? Yes, we do. We're sailing on Beyond in a few weeks. Super excited. You should be, because Celebrity Beyond is a fabulous, fabulous ship. We stayed in infant balcony cabin, as you know, which we weren't keen on, but lots of people love them. But taking that aside, it's a fantastic ship, and you will have an amazing time.
One of, if not my favourite cruise ship at this moment in time.
Yes.
And when you consider how sucky our cabin was, that'll show you how highly I praise that ship
We've just
and the food and the entertainment and the bars and the stuff.
Yeah, we've just been to see our website builders today. We've got a lovely company in Gloucester called Brace that look after our website because we want to make some tweaks and different things. And he's just the boss there is just booked to go on Celebrity Beyond. So we're having a good chat to him about cruising.
He said, I've never been on a cruise before. I said, it's a shame you don't know some travel bloggers that you can maybe look at some of their videos. 2.5 years he's been looking after, I think. Never, it wasn't even subscribed, nothing. And he was telling, and I said, so what? I said, well, as long as you haven't got one of them awful infinite balcony cabins. So he pulled up his booking confirmation. Oh, I've got an infinite balcony cabin.
Well, it didn't suit us, did it? But
no,
lots of people do like them.
It's not dreadful, but it's not what it says on the tin. In all fairness, the cabin is really nice, but it's not there's no balcony involved. It's basically a glorified ocean view. But as glorified ocean views go, it's a pretty good one.
Yes.
As a balcony cabin goes, it's the worst.
Now, Devon May's asking, cruise next year going on Grand Prix Azamara. What do you think about Azamara? We obviously haven't seen our Australia series. Now, Azamara, we had some difficulties on there with the guest relations team. However, if you push that aside, everyone around the ship and the service that we got on Azamara regarding food, entertainment, bars was exceptional, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, not entertainment for a small ship. I'm not saying that was exceptional. It was very good, but from a service point of view, with the exception for guest relations. So we like Azamara with what it offers, but we didn't like the experience, sadly, that we had in Australia.
But what I will say is, for your first cruise, Azamara is not a typical cruising experience because most of the ships now, 2,000 plus passengers, geared up for big theatrical shows, lots of live entertainment around the ship, loads and loads and loads of stuff going on. With Azamara, there's not loads and loads of stuff going on. When we were on there was some good entertainment, but it's certainly not big and theatrical and, and fireworks going off and glitz and glamour. But what they do well. Yeah, they do. So it would be interesting because if you went from Azamara to then a mainstream thing like Princess, or I don't know where you're from, but if you went, Devon made, I'm assuming you're English. So, but if you went then to sort of P&O or Princess or Royal Caribbean or anything like that, you'll go to the theatre shows and you'll like fall over because you won't believe how spectacular they are. Yeah. But yes, it's
well, we are back with Azamara, which will shock a lot of people because the experience we had, Azamara have been in touch with us and have offered us a replacement cruise for the section that we had all the issues with our cabin and how it was dealt with by guest relations, and we're very thankful for that. So we are back on Azamara as a replacement cruise in
November.
End of November. So so it'll be interesting to see of our experience there, which obviously we'll be feeding back to you guys. So now, Andy's views, I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom because I just noticed Lou's here. Lou Malo. Where is it? There, Lou. So Lou's in Charleston. So thanks, Lou, for joining us. Lovely to see you here. 94. Wowzer. That's hot, isn't it?
Mm.
So
and you're dressed like you could do a Charleston.
So right. Let's have a look. So what did I see? Andy's views is just asking, who is your favorite singer on a cruise ship? Mine is Max Himmelreich. On board with us now. Yeah, Max Himmelreich is a guy that we first met on Marella Discovery.
We actually know Max.
Yeah, when he was still with his wife, and they were called Braxy Music. He has got one of the most fantastic operatic voices we've ever heard. And he's a very striking man. And when he sings, his emotion and his facial features are quite...
he's very animated.
Yeah. And you're just mesmerized by him, aren't you? But yes, so he's on the Coral Princess at the moment. And we've also seen him on Princess because he was starring in rock opera.
Which I'd imagine what Max usually does rock opera as a guest artist.
Yeah.
And he also usually has his own show.
Yes, that's right.
But if Max can't sing it, it doesn't need to be sung.
He's got a phenomenal voice. Yeah.
And I would totally agree with you. He's one of the best singers we've seen on a cruise ship. We've seen some good ones, to be fair. And a guy who, what's his name?
John's just dropped in, thought it was a different time continuum, was in Pauline and Carole's 1920s parallel universe.
What's another guy who's fantastic is Ross Hunter, and he also does rock opera on a different princess ship and also has his own show. And another guy, you're getting me onto singers now, Philip Clark is his name.
Oh no, he's fantastic.
This guy was Carol's going to look his name at. I thought his name was Philip Clark. I'm sure his name is Philip something.
It is Philip.
This guy, back in the day when The Lion King first came out,
yes,
he was a bus driver from Birmingham, and he's so skip.
Yeah,
and they had open auditions.
Philip Brown.
So
Philip Brown.
And they had open auditions for what was?
He's a very very talented guy.
Yes. And what was his name? The Dad Lion.
Oh my God!
Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Yeah. So he went when The Lion King came to London. He went because they had open auditions.
Yeah.
And he got the part of Mufasa, despite the fact that he was a Birmingham bus driver. And he just went on and on from strength to strength from then. And in some of the shows we've seen him in on cruise ships, he does do some Lion King stuff. And even when he talks, because he can even talk like he's James Earl Jones from the film as well.
Yeah.
But he is just the loveliest bloke, amazing singer, fantastic bloke. And when as soon as the show finished, he's round and he's talking to everybody. And he came across to us because we were sat right in the front row. And, oh, do you enjoy the show? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It was fantastic. And I said, my dad, he did a song by a guy called Paul Robeson, whose big hit back in the day. And we're talking like back in the day, like the 30s. And there was a song called Oh Man River, which was featured in a film in that sort of vintage, but I can't remember what the film's called. And my dad loves that sort of stuff. But my dad was there, but he was sat right at the back. So he said, well, where is your dad not here? And I said, yeah, he sat at the back. Oh, well, we best go and have a chat to him then. And he went up and he shook my dad's hand and he's just a top bloke.
Yeah.
And
made your dad's cruise, didn't it?
Yeah, incredible singer as well. So if you get a chance to see him.
Yeah, so Philip Brown as well, like I say, is a fantastic Cruise and Gaze is here. So do you ever take an alcohol on board in line with the allowances? We never work out if it's worth a hassle. We don't tend to. Do you know, I took some wine on Cunard once and I ended up bringing it home, didn't I? Which is silly because actually Cunard's very expensive, but we don't tend to sit in the cabin and drink, do we?
But she also took some wine on Cunard and got very drunk because our cabin was directly above the Queen's room. And it was was with our friends, Deb and Steve. But it was almost as quick to go back to the cabin and fill your glass up than it was to go to the bar.
Yes, we did that time actually when we did a 4-dayer. That was just a crazy cruise, that was. Jen K is saying Sunday and Monday night's the best for piano bars since most town shows are dark then. Okay, so they're obviously closed. Thanks for the tip. So Jerry's here. So how many booked for the group cruise so far? We got how many cabins now, Paulie?
86, I believe.
86 cabins have been booked. So it's just mental.
I think it's more than that actually, because I think we've had a couple more confirmed.
Yeah, so it's going to be so much fun.
It was 86 and it was 162. And just to reassure everybody, we have spoken to Charlotte, who's a PR princess, just to let her know of the numbers and should we be panicking about organising stuff. And she said, you shouldn't be panicking at all. We can cater for at least 400 people.
But we don't want it to be.
Well, we don't want to do that. We're going to, when it gets around the 200, we're going to start having to make it. Apparently, once you get to 250, you then have to start a new group. Which won't affect anybody. But I think what we're going to do when we get nearer the time, if it's getting near that
we're going to stop.
We're probably going to stop.
But we'll give people notice for those that are hanging back. But yeah, we just it needs to be manageable. And at the moment, the princess said, yeah, no problem. We can accommodate everything with what we want to do. So that'll be good. So Richard's saying thank you so much for your reply. No problem. That's why we're here. And Bob saying we appreciate your transparency. Yeah, we've got nothing to hide, so we'll always say it how it is. So Paul's saying great suggestion, great views of New York, including Empire State from the Rockefeller Center. Yes, yes, we are aware of that. Have a great time and sail back to the UK. Also enjoy the Commodore Club. Yes, we love the Commodore Club. That's a great spot, isn't it? The one at the top of the front.
Yeah, we do. No, yeah, I like the Commodore.
And Lou's doing a Christmas markets cruise with Avalon this December. Really looking forward to it. Avalon are great.
Yeah.
The food on Avalon was spectacular. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Tina's saying, how do you manage to remember what restaurants are on what ships? I've just remember where I went last week. So I guess, I don't know. We just
that's
do.
the thing.
So
like literally, Carole will tell me to do something, and 4 minutes later, I'll start doing something, and then she'd be like, "What are you doing, mate?" Well, what you told me to do. No, I didn't tell you to do that at all. But you asked me about Azumi on Anthem of the Seas, which we went on 2 years ago.
Yes, and
I'm all over that.
So Rebecca saying, is your group cruise on Princess Like, yeah, it's open for the general public too. It's not just for us. There's no way we would finish the ship of that size. So you can book it independently. However, you won't be able to be involved in the activities that we do. But if you do book it independently, you want to come and say hi, then that's fine too. But we're planning Q&As and some karaoke and all different activities for everyone to be included in. If you want to know more stuff, information about our group cruise, just go to, I think I've got a little banner about that too. See how organised I am, Paulie. Look, just visit our website and group cruise, and you've got all the information there.
It ain't like she got any videos to edit. All she does all day now is make banners.
So let's see.
She's pushing me out again. Let's get you back around here.
So let's have a look. Where are we?
I'm really disappointed because I didn't.
So Jen saying there's Marie's. That's it.
Yeah.
Marie's Crisis Cafe. So it's not Mark's.
I'm really disappointed. Nobody's
Club coming too.
The Scottish guy. Nobody's mentioned the spider, and unfortunately, I didn't have a dark enough pen. I thought it would be funny, but nobody's got good enough eyesight. So.
Oh, why are you saying that? Because it's only we've still got time. Someone might. Paul thought it'd be funny. The other week we had someone said, "Is that spider on the wall?"
There was about 5 seconds left on the clock when I drew that spider.
I think you need a darker pen.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't have. I could only work with what I had.
Is the Marella Discovery Wi-Fi £90 for 2 weeks a good deal? Depends what you want to do. I don't think that's a bad price actually, because that's just over a tenner a day, isn't it? In effect, so 12, £13 a day. Is that 90? 90 divided by 7. My maths has never been my.
For a start, your reading's not very good either. For 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a very good deal then.
Oh my lord! Yeah, so
90 divided by 14
times £13 a day is 90 quid. Don't ask Carole any maths questions.
Oh no, it's not my strong point.
That's £7 a day.
That's really cheap.
£7.20 or something like that. But yeah, that's really cheap. But it depends. They do different grades, and obviously some you once you've used X amount, you're off. But it's not too bad. But it depends what you.
And depends what you want to do, and depends on your itinerary. If you've got a very port-intensive itinerary, it's around Europe, and your phone provider allows you to use your phone in Europe, then wait till you're in port, or then you could go find some free Wi-Fi too. So it depends on how much you want to keep in touch with home. Anne said her favourite on Voyager was kitchens. The kitchen's great. Yeah, lots of tips here. We'll have to go back through all these. Armani restaurant on 5th Avenue is amazing. Go for the lunch set menu, is much cheaper. So Paul's asking, what was our favourite aspect of the Marbella Voyager? So I'm sure you mean the Marella. I loved the summer house at the back. I loved that area that you could sit in the day with the roof over, and they got our views, obviously, on outside bar there. So that was my favourite place. Yours?
Yeah, anywhere there was food, really.
Anywhere there was food.
Yeah.
Let's go back up to where we were. So where were we?
I don't know. You're supposed to know this when you're scrolling up and down.
I think I've got it.
Like a bloody fiddler's elbow there.
So yeah, Andy's saying, look forward to hearing about your future plans, but we've been doing the past 40. We've not watched much YouTube on our world cruise. Yeah, they're on a world cruise from Brisbane to Brisbane. So how amazing is that? So Jack said, any news on t-shirts? They are all being sorted, but we haven't had a delivery yet. It's all in hand. And the QM2 leaves Brooklyn. Yes, it does. So we know we've worked out with we've been getting some good tips of how to get around by people. So that's been good as well. And Stephen's saying, absolutely lovely vlogs, have us in stitches most nights at the moment. Looking forward to more. Thanks. That's all. That's what we hope that the point of us doing sharing our travels was to hopefully help someone make the right decision for them when they were booking a cruise or a holiday, and if we can make someone smile, because there's so much darkness in the world today, isn't there? I think there's so much bad news and so much miserable, and so if we can make someone smile as well as giving some useful information, then that's great to hear. So thank you, Stephen. That's the job done for us.
And we know that some of the bloggers with the most views are the ones that are miserable as saying, you won't believe what happened to me, this is all doom and gloom.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'd rather have no views than go down that road of doom mongering. I am a miserable sod without a shadow of a doubt, but it's like Carole said, we just want to bring some joy into the world.
Yeah,
and like
we do.
Said, if it makes if it puts a smile on somebody's face,
yes,
and that's why I come out with stupid stuff like pop song references and stuff like
that.
You
do that anyway, Pauline.
I do that anyway. But if it just puts a smile on, yeah, but she never gets any of the references. So it's so nice now to have a wider audience than just Carole going, I don't know. So
Andy's views are saying only 19 likes and over 200. Yes, please hit the like button because it helps YouTube understand that you like our content. Same with comments after the live. If you want to write a comment, say thanks for a great live, then that'd be brilliant too. Jack's asking, how long does it take to sail back to the UK? How do you get back home? So it takes 6 days at sea, so it's going to be very interesting, transatlantic. And because we're going from west to east, we'll be losing an hour every day. Apparently at midday, it goes from 12 p.m. To 1 p.m. So we lose that hour, whereas normally when times change, it's normally 2 in the morning, isn't it? So that'll be interesting. So I guess the program will have nothing on from 12 till 1.
And that's really
so
annoying,
that's what we've been told.
Because if it was the other way around, if it went from 12 back to 11, I could have lunch about 11:45. Finish it at 12. It goes back to 11. I can have another lunch.
So that is the bonus. We've chose to go from New York to Southampton because we just wanted to sail home. I don't know. I said let's just sail home, and then we don't have to worry about jet lag and all those sort of things. But if you sail from Southampton to New York, you obviously get 25-hour days. Yeah. So something to consider. If you go to Manhattan, you'll end up on a Carnival or NCL ship. Head to Brooklyn. We will, Bob. Thank you very much. So. Yes, and Kevin's just sharing that. So if you want to know about the dress code, so thanks, Kevin, for that. So Katara say that's what we love, pulling Carole from Marella to Cunard and everything in between. We do. We find there's cruise line out there for everyone. So people that do one cruise and say I hate cruising, they obviously didn't pick the right ship. We love trying different things. So we will continue to try. We had to count up, didn't we, for the vlog that I just finished today, which will go out to our patrons later on. It's we've done 14 cruise lines now, haven't we?
Yes.
Different cruise companies. And there's
most of them have gone out of business.
No. And there's some that we will always go back to, and there's some that we'll do once think, do you know what, glad we tried it, but not for us.
Well, I think there's only one we definitely wouldn't go back to because they have gone out of business.
Yes, that's true, CMB. But they've reincarnated really into ambassador, haven't they? But so Jack is just joined, trying to figure out your headpieces. We're off to Cunard 20s night, Flappers night. So what company format do you use to create your web page? Does it have annual subscription? No, well, it does have annual subscription. It's a company called Brace that are based in Gloucester, where we live, and Paul used to use them, didn't you, for work? So yeah, I know, but you don't use it a lot, do you? So we've used them, and they're brilliant. I started off on GoDaddy actually. And then it just got too messy for me, and because I've got a nursey brain, it was a huge learning curve. Having someone, it's like today, I can talk to a lot of people on the phone and do sort of Teams, but there's nothing like sitting in front of someone with a computer open and having a chat. And we're quite old school. We like to talk to humans face to face, don't we? So
yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So Amanda said she bought a dress for £20 for Roaring 20s night. Everybody comments how lovely it is. It doesn't have to be expensive. No, exactly that. It's exactly that. And I'm just wearing a black dress that I've got. So I haven't got a sort of, a flappery type dress. But I think I will invest in one because we know that we will always go back to... And
that's the thing. It's just about people. If you see somebody who's just making the effort, and even though you know it, and like I say, we've invested the big £15, And I know that people are looking at us and say, "Oh yeah, you know, I can see what they've done there," and that's the main thing. So
yeah, but if you don't want to, it's not a problem. Stephen Brothers Developers, yes, they did. We had a full apology, and that's why they've invited us back on as we're not. It's not an invite. It's a replacement cruise. They've called it. So it's not a blogging sort of cruise. It's a replacement cruise because of the difficulties that we had. So Claire's been to New York many times. Make sure you walk the High Line. Yes, that's on the list. And Grant's here. Love to see Grant. I'm sorry I arrived late from weekly left therapy. Please treat the Queen Mary 2 with kindness. I just paid for my Christmas crossing yesterday. It'll be my 15th crossing. Wow. That's awesome. You obviously like them. I'm sure we're going to love it. I think it's going to be such a chilled out experience because you've got no ports. So it's just going to be, I'm looking forward to the real. Cunard are very good at immersive talks, aren't they? I'm really looking forward to seeing the variety of those. I think it'd be great to join in with all the quizzes and just actually chill out. I want to just lie, even if it's cold. I love the promenade deck on Queen Mary 2 on one of their lovely lounges with a blanket on and know that I'm right in the middle of the Atlantic, which I might be a bit scary, mightn't it? Might feel a little bit.
It won't be scary for me because I won't be out there.
This is a little bit. You won't be out there. No, you'll be sat in a pub somewhere. But
well, I won't be sat in a pub somewhere. I'm fairly confident
it'll be on the ship.
It'll be on the ship.
Oh, so Ian's asking, would we be cruising South America? We would love to. That is somewhere that we'd like to. It's not high on the list. We've got the South Pacific and Hawaii is higher on the list than South America. But yes, we definitely would like to do that.
It wouldn't have been anything that was even on my radar, but Bob and Holly, who were Innocents Abroad,
yes.
If you haven't checked them out yet, I urge you to do so because they're fabulous.
Yeah.
They did a thing where they were in Buenos Aires and it looked absolutely amazing.
South America. Yeah. And Mark and Marie Travels have a lot of information on their website. So that's, Andy said he invested $299 for a white suit for the Love Boat party. Should I wear it to some like a hot musical event? Yes, go for it.
Definitely,
go for it. Auburn Steve Adventures are here. We'll be cruising out of New York on Elm Prince very soon. Heading to New England, Canada. Looking forward to it. Definitely a few days in New York to see the sights. Yeah, we were going to. The problem is with transatlantics is often you get to New York and you fly straight home, so you literally have a day there. That's where we chose to fly out before. And there were other reasons that I thought if me and my sister do a lot of shopping in New York, we can just buy another suitcase and bring it on and cruise home. You don't have to worry about being over the weight limit. So that's the other beauty of sailing home. You can bring as much luggage as you like.
You can't.
You can.
You can't.
You can. We had fun in New York City on one of the Cunard cruises. We went to Times Square. There's a camera, you can see yourself on it. We took a picture of the camera, taking a picture. Yes, we're gonna have a booch and see if we can get some tickets to Broadway. See what's going. See if we can get any late tickets. Alfie said another vote for Ellen's. So, and Vintage Peep Show a go. We leave for 34 days for Eastern Europe, Bucharest to Budapest. Fab. We've done Budapest, haven't we, on a river cruise, and that's awesome.
Yes.
So enjoy that. So, question right then, when do you recommend buying a drinks package? When you drink over more than 15 drinks a day and you've checked out our website to check out what the prices are on that cruise ship that you go on. We've got lots of information on our website. They've got prices for different cruise lines, and you can then work out whether it's going to be worth you buying the drinks package for that cruise.
Because everything's changing. P&O's just changed the drinks package. Princess just changed the drinks package. It'd be interesting to see when we go back on Cunard what their drinks package now is. It was $69 a day, and obviously it'd be interesting to see if their drinks price is still the same. Because we've got a drinks package price. Because on our website, we don't guesstimate what stuff's going to be. We'll tell you how much a pint of Foster's is or how much a brandy and Coke is, because we constantly update our stuff by studying the programs, not by guessing or saying it's going to be between £5 and £10. So at this moment in time, a lot of the stuff is bang on accurate because it's right up to date. And obviously, every time we go on a cruise, we check to see that it's still current. And if it's not, despite the fact it's very laborious, I change it all. so you know.
Yeah, and if it's a company that we don't, we always make sure we've got a lot of our patrons and YouTube members that we say, look, if you're going on that cruise, can you please just take some photos of the menu so we can make sure that everything's up to date. So we've always got it's always where it should be. But
despite the fact we're going to have obviously 6 or 7 sea days, whatever it is, we still won't be buying a drinks package on Cunard, because unless we get on there and the drinks prices have drastically increased, it's not really. It's I can have 12 pints.
Yeah, the beer and that's not, the wine's quite expensive, and so is cocktail.
I can have 12 or 13 pints
beer
a
isn't
day.
That,
no, it's
not crazy prices.
I can have about 12 or 13 pints a day before I'm getting up near what the drinks package costs. So it's
so Bobanella's here, so love to see. I hope everyone's looking forward to the group, because yes, we are. So Showboat, Jerome Kern, Old Man River. Yes.
And do you know what the answer to?
Yes, the question that you said earlier on about
I didn't say the question, but I said I can't remember what the film was called, but that's what Paul Robins sang Old Man River in,
So it's Showboat.
Yeah.
And Chris Moran saying it as well. Yeah. With how Keel and Catherine Grace on. Kevin's just saying as well, oh my gosh, the hour's gone. Do you know how mad's that? Let's go just see if we've got any more questions before. I haven't even been clocking the
Somebody's put 4 spiders now. I took it down.
So Maffy 587 said, how long was it between your first and second cruise? How quickly did you get the bug? We did Ambassador in March. Now got 4 cruises lined up, including the group cruise. Well, thank you so much for booking the group cruise. From our first one, we did the Navigator of the Seas in oh my gosh, what year was it? Was it 19 or was it 2001? I'd have to check that. And I think we did then go the next year, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I think it wasn't very close. But then once I got Paul to get on the first one, it was hard to say
right. To keep me off. And bonkers, we did the first cruise was 5 days on what was it, the Seas?
Navigator of the
Seas. We didn't even go to the theatre.
We didn't.
I didn't even know there was a theatre.
We were just so amazed by everything, weren't we? So Andy's saying, doesn't Jamie Carragher have a Liverpool football pub in New York?
I've got no idea.
Don't know.
Is he a footballer, is he, Jamie Carragher?
Apparently.
Well, he used to be, isn't it?
John's asking.
Do you know, there's an interesting... Apparently, Jamie Carragher, the Liverpool defender, has scored more goals for Spurs than he did for Liverpool. I don't know if that's true or not. Because
can you manage that?
Because he always used to score an own goal when Tottenham played him.
Oh, really? Lots of saying that we make them smile. So thank you very much and laugh out loud. That's great to hear. And John was saying, have you ever cruised Costa thinking of 17-day? We haven't. And it's not one that's on our list at the moment. It's one of those things that if we had some spare time and it was the right price, which Costa often is the right price, then we would give it. We'd like to give it a go one day.
We'd like to give it a go, but we certainly wouldn't be paying big bucks to do it.
No.
But like I said, if we could get a bargain, who knows?
Yeah, but if you want to know lots about Costa, the Cruise Boys have got a lot of information about Costa on the website.
Love Costa,
they really, really enjoy it. So do check out that stuff. Lou said, we are smiling. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at all the love and send us. Isn't that awesome? Thank you.
I think you're all mad, but it's lovely to hear that you love us.
So Tracy's going on our own in January. And so Andy's saying that on their world cruise, we get 24 times 25-hour days on our world cruise because they're going west. Yeah, see, that's a good... I never really thought of it until we started looking at the transatlantic, and it is interesting. You know,
so that's an extra day. They got an extra day.
Yes, they do.
So I work that extra. Yeah. So you get an extra 6 months.
No,
oh, brainiac there.
Susan, Karen, Paul, how do people afford to cruise all the time and live in a different world? Fair play, they can afford it. We've just been saving for years and years and years, and
saving for 35 years.
Yeah,
well, no, saving
longer than that.
We've been saving for 30 years, and when you get to our age, unfortunately, you go to far less weddings and far more funerals.
Yes.
And that's been the case for us in the last week.
Yeah.
Somebody who wasn't much older than us. So
very
life's too short.
Friend.
So if you can afford it, get out there and do it.
Yeah. So that's exactly our way of looking at life.
That's our credo, our motto.
You know, and if we spend all our savings in the next 2 years, so be it. But we'll have done all the trips we've done. We've met all these amazing people, and then we can sit and we can watch our videos and say, "Oh, remember the time we were there?"
Or I'll just have to go on my own because we won't be able to afford for both of us to go.
So Mandy said we definitely would have booked Marella Voyage as a first ever cruise without your advice. Just got off Marella Explorer though, as we were so excited we booked 2 more. Brilliant. Yeah. So Marella are great. Marella are nothing blingy, nothing posh, nothing. They are just great fun. And I refer to Marella as like putting on a pair of comfortable shoes. I love it. As soon as I get on a Marella ship, it's like, oh, we're home. We do. Cruz said, can't wait to hear your stories from Transatlantic. Our favourite was a fight in the laundry involving a whack with an iron because a woman took another's washing at the machine. Oh, yes. Do you know, we were watching, I think, Gary Bembridge, and he was saying that the laundry is sort of the hive of activity, as in where the gossip happens. So he
didn't even have any washing to do. He just used to go there to listen to the gossip.
Yes, I'd forgotten about that because I said to Paul, because we've got a post on our website about how much the laundry is. So I said, I'm just going to send a bag of washing off because we got some cruise credit that we got with our Carnival shares, and obviously when we booked. So, but I'd forgotten about the laundrettes, so I might go there and I'll feed back to let you know what goes. Hopefully nobody whacks me with an iron.
Well, if Carole does pick an iron up, that'll be the first time she's used one since we've been married. Good night, everybody. Hey, I just want you to all look like no bruises or nothing on my face. You can be my witness.
Oh dear. So let's have a look. Because it's gone over the hour now. So let's see if there's any big questions in here that we haven't answered yet. Is there any questions down here? So Andy's saying that they sailing from New York to South America at the same time you're on QM2. Nice. We only started cruise year. Jake saying that we only started cruise this year, done 2 already on Aurora on Thursday, coming out from New York on NCL Getaway next April. Thank you for the inspiration. And Moomin saying, have a blast.
That really scares me. Thank you for making cruising look normal. I don't think we make anything look normal, do we? But but thank you anyway. I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah, do you know, that's I think that's why we stick to doing the vlog style videos, because I just want to tell a story of what actually happens on board, and I think that's what I enjoy watching on YouTube. Yeah. So but Moon said that because they're off to Alaska in 13 days. Enjoy Alaska's just yeah. I just think, did I see Visit With Us? Yeah, so they're in Alaska at the minute. So hi there, Rich and Helen. And Morris is saying there's a ticket booth in Times Square for last minute shows. We went to Mamma Mia. So yes, we're going to.
Here we go again, Mama.
I must admit, I'm not an ABBA fan, but I'm sure it's a great show.
My favourite, and I like to drag this story out every time I hear the name ABBA mentioned. So we were at a quiz.
Oh, mate, really?
And it's like, right, so the 2 men out of ABBA are called Benny and Bjorn. What are the ladies called? And I said, well, I'm sure one of them's name's Agneta. And then Carole's coming out with these, is it like Carole or June or Doris?
No, I didn't.
And I said, mate, well, she was coming out with these ladies' names, these random ladies' names. And I said, well, mate, it's got to be something that begins with A. Well, why is it got to be something that begins with A? I said, because they're called ABBA. Agneta, Benny, Bjorn. So the last one's an A. So it's something. She's like, that's what it stands for.
You know, when you have one of those light bulb moments, I'm like,
never.
My God.
And we're only talking within the last 2 years, Mike.
Yeah. So
they've been going since 1974 or something. And Carole never knew that it was their initials.
I've never been a fan. So Stephen's saying that Queen Mary is one of a kind, true line, the ship that's truly at home on the North Atlantic, wherever the weather. Yes, you'll have a ball. Yeah, we're so looking forward to it. Jack saying, are we sailing at any ports? No, we're just sailing all the way back. Straight from New York to
Southampton. Do you know what the good thing about that is, Jack? She won't be getting me up for any excursions or, I'm going to film us coming into ports. None of that stuff. Just lie-ins all the way.
Yes, no, it will be good. Cruise, that's interesting. Of course, definitely not. Only cruise line we've ever done that you can't get tap water at dinner. Really? Must have a water package. As much Coke as you want, but no chance of water. How bizarre is that? Oh, thanks for that information. So Andy said they lose the 13th of September. So they lose a day and then they gain a day. So
it's the same then.
Yeah. And Rose saying the pandemic taught me to grab every moment. Yeah, do you know, I think the pandemic taught us all some valuable lessons, didn't it? Of just grasping life by the horns as such, and just doing what you can. And people say you don't need to have a lot of money to do precious things, like spending time with family, going for a walk in the park, going a day trip to the beach, all those things. Just spend time with people that you love, because you never know when they might not be here.
That's right.
That's the most important advice I could give anyone. And Corinne's just saying that do what you can while I can pay for it was the motto with my late husband. Yes, totally that. So yeah, I think everyone put a lot of people in our circle have that same mentality. So
the dark-haired person is Frida.
So that's not A.
Really? Her name's Anna Fried.
I
think it's Agneta and Anna Fried, but
and Hawk's Travis saying yes, she'll have you up for sunrises.
No, she will not.
Jim and Dwayne know me so well. Look,
I might swap cabins with her sister, and Jane can sleep in with Carole. She's going to get me up every morning. Inside cabin, Jane's got as well, so there'd be no.
Well, we did originally book an inside cabin, and then I thought, oh my god, I got.
This is how sneaky Carole is, right behind my back. When we booked this up, she said, mate, we don't need a balcony. We don't need a balcony. We can do an inside cabin. We can do a blog all about 7 days in an inside cabin. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, months and months and months later, we're talking to Dan, our travel agent, on the phone. And Carole's like, Dan, I've been thinking about it. And I don't think I can do a week in an inside cabin. So I'm thinking about that maybe we need to, do something different. And Dan's like, what are you on about? About 3 weeks after you booked it, you phoned me and said you wanted to change it to a balcony. And she'd forgot. She'd forgot that she'd gone behind my back and booked a balcony and tried booking a balcony again.
A double balcony.
Yeah.
So we've got one of the sheltered balconies, which I wanted one that's low to the water. So, so it should be good. But my sister's in an inside. I'm a lady of a certain age, and I just get so hot. I just want somewhere cool. When he's snoring away in the cabin, where I can sit and just have some quiet with my cup of coffee.
Never snore.
He always snores. Look, it's nearly 1:15 the hour. So
you don't know what time it is, yeah?
No, I don't. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah. 8:15. We've got to pack. We haven't packed yet. You're not going to believe this. We always leave things to the last minute.
We're not even leaving for the airport until Thursday.
Yeah, but you're busy all day tomorrow with car stuff. I'm out with my friends again for one last hoolie.
Swanning off, doing work. I don't know. Where's it going to end?
Corinne says, not always easy sitting on a balcony. We've got more of a chance because we're in the sheltered balcony. Yeah. So that was the reason why we...
She'll have to enjoy it, because when she goes out, they're going to lock the door behind her.
But anyway, thanks for everyone for joining us. It's been a brilliant time as always. Our favourite part of the week, as we always say. Remember that next week we are going to be back to our normal Thursday slot. So Thursday night live from New York City. Hopefully our hotel will have good Wi-Fi. I'm sure it will. So do join us for that, and I will let you know how we've got on. Don't forget that obviously you can join our Patreon and chat to us every day and have some members-only live streams and priority booking, etc. And this, if you haven't watched it already, check out our vlog that's out live at the moment. And then on Friday, we have our last one out of our Marella Voyager series. So, yes. Oh, I can't get rid of that now. Where's it gone? We're back. So thanks again for everyone who've joined us, and we will see you very soon. What are you doing?
I'm going to see what my hair is like.
Oh dear. Well, put it back on. We'll keep this on till we go on holiday.